that you guys, Paul Ivacoli here. And I want to introduce you guys to one of my best friends, one of my mentors, Nick Anderson. It's crazy, I'll let him tell you the story about how he got started, how we both kind of got started. We got it started around the same time. And honestly, it was a rough road ahead of us. We weren't expecting what we were expecting. I mean, there was definitely that shift of energy where we went from basically super excited to almost, a little bit skeptical, hit rock bottom, and now we're back on our way up. And it's been a long road. But that being said, I actually want to introduce you guys to my mentor, Nick Anderson. Basically taught me everything I know. And what I want to do is I'm going to kind of do an interview style. We're just going to be talking, face to face, but we're going to be talking. I'm going to interview him, kind of, the story. He'll give you some of his mentorship, answer a few of my questions. But that being said, what's up, Nick? How's it going, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just been grinding all day today, working, even though it's the weekend, never stop working hard, So
Dude, it's crazy. Once you quit your job, it's just I mean, I just quit my job, not too long ago. I know you know about that, but for the people listening, I quit. I've had so many different jobs throughout this entire internet marketing, network marketing, affiliate marketing, Amazon, eBay, affiliate, whatever it is. We've done a lot of sales in the past, 3 years. But going from one place, after I quit my job 3 to 4 months ago, actually, it's been weird. I don't even know what day it is anymore. And I'm not saying that to be like, just to prove to someone. No, I'm being dead serious. Like sometimes I'm just like, what day is it? And then I realize it's a weekend. But here's the thing. I don't treat the weekend as anyone else would treat the weekend. It's funny. I go to the bar every now and then. My girlfriend works there, and I see people on a Friday night, and it's crazy because on Thursday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Monday night, it's dead. But then on Friday night, everyone parties away their liver, like they don't have tomorrow to live. So it's pretty weird to see that because now my mindset's shifted, and it's all because of the guy on the other side of the camera. But really quick, Nick, I want you to tell me, man, how did you get started in just the field of sales? I mean, affiliate marketing and network marketing. How did you all get started with that?
Well, it's kind of crazy because, I mean, I've always really been involved with sales ever since I was a little kid, like selling Pokemon cards on the playground, doing like the lemonade stands, all that type of stuff. And I feel like everyone has something that they do when they're younger that kind of propels them into, whether it be like network marketing, direct sales, if you've been with the industry before. But basically my story, I mean, it's pretty simple, you guys. Back when I was 19 years old, this was back in 2012, I was working at a hospital for about 4 years doing that. Like scrubbing dishes, doing that all through high school. And like Paul was talking about, just living for the weekends. I'd go to work. I worked like Monday through Friday, just hated everything that I did there, and was making like $7.50 an hour to do that type of stuff, and was just like living to, party on the weekends, do that type of stuff. So I kind of hit a point in my life where, I was just ready for a change. And I was ready for something new, and I needed that kind of thing in my life to help me propel me to, where I wanted to be, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, because I didn't want to just be working for someone else my whole life. I wanted to be my own boss. Ever since I was a kid, like scheming, selling Pokemon cards, doing those types of things, you guys, I was just like ready to basically like figure out my financial future and get it set in place to where, I could have every single day be a Saturday, to where I wasn't looking forward to just the weekends, to where I could have, a Monday be a good day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And when I went off to school in college, I really just like had no passion for what I was doing. Didn't know what I was going to study. I changed my major like 20 different times. I took some of the most ridiculous classes you could take in college. I took like archery, like canoeing, just a bunch of stuff. It was fun.
That sounds pretty cool. We didn't.
It was fun. It was pretty badass. You don't really learn anything, and it was like a rec class that you take. So I was just like, I felt like I was wasting money in school because changing my major so many different times. I was like, come time that I was like a sophomore in school, I was really like still a freshman in credits. And if I wanted to graduate, I had to figure my shit out. I had to get my stuff straight. And I came back home one summer, and I was kind of sitting here just thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to work at the hospital? Am I going to find some like odd jobs around town, like mowing lawns, cutting grass, doing that type of stuff?
The dog's coming on in.
It's funny. Yeah, Milo. But no, it's crazy. I was sitting there And I was almost called like law of attraction or anything. I was thinking, I need something. I need that change in my life. And it's crazy. You know, my phone started vibrating, and my friend was calling me. And I picked up the phone, and I was a guy that I went to school with and a frat with, John Harrington. You know John, obviously. And he's like, "Hey, man, I got a great way for us to make money this summer." And I'm just like, "What is it?" I'm all ears. He's like, "Well, honestly, I can't really explain anything because I just got started with it. But I'm going to put you on the phone with my mentor that got me started with the business, and he can explain everything." So I was like, "All right, sounds good." And within like 3 seconds, he patched in this guy that was like a big leader in the company. And this dude just started going off, like explaining the whole business, going over like the products, going over how you made money. And none of it made any sense to me because I didn't even know what network marketing was. I didn't even know what this industry was about. So he was just rambling off all this information about a binary, like max out like a pay leg, all this stuff, like products that you sell to people, and you make money, residual income. And I had no idea what those words even meant. So it opened up my mind to a whole new world. And it was crazy, you guys, because right when I hopped off the phone call, I didn't even know what it was. I was just hooked because I could hear the excitement in his voice. I could hear that he was obviously passionate about it. So I hopped online and I started researching all night long. I didn't sleep that night, looking up the company, looking up the credibility behind it and everything. And I called my friend in the morning, around 8 in the morning, and I told him, "You know what, I'm in. I'm ready to get started." And I got started on like one of the highest packs they had. I spent like $550 to buy like a builder pack, get a bunch of product. And, I just began doing the things that you're taught in the beginning to do, like we did, write down a list, like 100 people. I wrote down like spiral notebook, everyone from my college, everyone from high school, people all the way back until like kindergarten. I was writing down their names, and I was literally sending out like mass text messages to them. So it's kind of funny, where we come from, where everyone starts in this industry. Like they say, you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start in order to be great. Back in 2012, it was funny because, we definitely come a long way. And, building that business, coming down to Montana, dude, it was pretty sick, getting to meet you, getting to meet your brother and everything. And, that was a while ago, a few years back, like a little over 2 years ago. So, I mean, it's just been a blessing. This industry has just been crazy, up a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but, the ups definitely outweigh the downs in it. So.
Money, dude, that's a good story. I've heard it quite a few times, and it's funny because I remember Nick and I were talking about that a while ago. This story, and long story short, I was pretty skeptical about network marketing when I first heard about it, and my brother was the one who'd introduced me to it, and it was basically Nick that came out to Montana with a guy by the name of John Harrington, another good friend of ours. And at the time, we were all lying about our incomes, you know what I mean? Like everyone would be like, "Yeah, man, I'm making like $50,000 a day." But reality was, we were all just brand new to this thing. And it was funny because, like I said, you've always got those two types of people that get involved in network marketing. You've got the one who didn't care whether or not it was an actual scam. They're just like, "Man, this sounds cool. Money's involved. Perfect. I'm in." That wasn't me. That was Nick. I was the type of person that was super skeptical. It took me about, 6 exposures before I finally said, "Dude, all right, there's enough people making money. I see that it's real. I want to get involved." But ever since, we got started, we went through the old motion. You basically make a list. You find people to talk to. You basically burn your entire warm market out. You know what I mean? Like, go talk to your grandma, for instance. She says, "Oh, I've done one of those things. Is this that Amway thing?" And you're like, "No. This is much better because this here, you only get. It's not even network marketing. You just get 3 who get 3 who get 3." And so it's pretty funny how far we come, how much we've evolved. But ever since the time we stopped, we learned about something else. We learned about something new. Because we were just tired of, basically hitting up our warm market and then start getting into the cold market. You go into a restaurant, "Hey, do you keep your business options open? You seem like a sharp person," and you start recruiting people, and it's just so corny. Nick and I got tired of it. So, Nick was also the one who kind of introduced me to online marketing. And really quick, Nick, I want you to kind of explain to me how you found out about online marketing, what your first experience was, and then I'll ask you a few more questions in that field. But tell me a little bit about, what successes you've had with it and whatnot.
Definitely. Well, first, how I got introduced to it, it was actually kind of funny, going back to when I was first starting out, I was writing down the list, the good old list, the spiral notebook of everyone I knew. And because I had no idea how to approach them or what to say or how to handle objections, I scared every single person away within like my first 3 weeks. So I didn't know what else to do. So I had a conversation with my upline in that company, and he basically told me, he said, you need to get business cards, buy business cards from the corporate website and go out there and hand them out to people. So I was like, all right, whatever. I went on YouTube. I was like, how to cold prospect people. So I did some like Cesar Rodriguez training on YouTube, listened to that, then started going around, wandering around grocery stores and stuff, and just handing them out to every person I could, come across. But I wasn't necessarily headhunting. I wasn't looking for qualified people. I was just looking for anyone. I would drive through like the McDonald's drive-through, and I wouldn't even order any food. I would just order a cup of water because I didn't want to be spending money on food all the time. And I would talk with the employee, and I had asked them, so do you keep your options open and making more money, if it wouldn't interfere with what you're doing here? And of course they're like, well, it depends. What is it? And then, I would try and explain what it was about right there in the drive-through while I'm sitting there in my Subaru, just like completely nervous. I'm talking to a guy who's making like, $7 an hour, trying to get them in my business at like a $500 builder pack, just trying to explain things to him. So I was just confused, it wasn't working for me. So, I was doing some research, and I just started looking on Google, how to generate leads, how to build a business online. And I started stumbling across, a few different links, clicking here and there. And I stumbled across this one video from this one guy that was homeless. He started out homeless in his van on the North Shore of Oahu, Hawaii. And he was basically telling me the story of, how he started blogging online. And I was captivated by his story, because this guy literally looked like a stoner, like a hippie, just hair down to here. But yeah, he was making like.
By the way, you guys, if you are a hippie, nothing against we love the grease, but again,
yeah. No,
there's a huge difference between a '60s hippie and a hipster these days. You know what I mean?
For real, man, for real. It's crazy too, because he's like, I don't know. It's ridiculous. He's making like 30 grand a month or something at the time, and I'm just like, there is no way this guy is making this much. But the way that he was speaking in his videos, I'm just like, okay, I definitely believe this guy. So I ended up getting started with this one platform, and I just started literally just stumbling around online like I was doing offline. But it opened up my mind to a whole new world, to where you can connect with people all across the world in several different countries. It's like being everywhere without actually being there. You can make videos, do blog posts, post up stuff on like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, stuff like that, and have people seeing it all over the world while you're not even there, you guys. Now, for example, this video you're watching up right now on Paul's channel, we might have made this video a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months, a year ago. And the fact that you're watching it right now just shows that we're the most socially connected generation that's ever lived, you guys. Social media just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I realized that, I could still continue to wander around offline with business cards and hand them out to people, or I can learn how to do some online marketing and start attracting people to me, learning how to become the hunted, and just master different media methods and just become an expert in that field, to where, I'm actually building a business and having a life at the exact same time, instead of being that guy that's, just constantly driving all over the place, trying to figure out like, who else can I talk to? Who else can I expose to my business? And instead of doing that, you guys, just attracting people. And I mean, like, doing that, it's about 2 years now since I started online marketing. I've never looked back. It's been a while since we've done a home event. Back when the first year we started, we were doing home event after home event after home event. But now, just being able to attract people is just amazing, man. But yeah, for you, Paul, I mean, like, you've been doing online marketing for a little while now too. I mean, I know you transitioned as well, so.
Yeah, dude, it's been a game changer. I mean, just a quick testimonial, if you will, you guys. We used to go out there and prospect. I mean, I literally was the type of person, because I was so enthusiastic, I'd scare people away. I'd walk into a room, the room would walk out. You know what I mean? So it was pretty funny, and I just was like, man, screw it all, because I was very arrogant, I was egotistical, and I learned, the error of my ways. I learned that obviously, people don't like to be around that type of a person. So, it was a hard hit for me. I was like, shoot, man, I'm gonna have to, be someone that I wasn't at the time, and that was a hard transition. But once I did, life changed, and it was crazy. Like I said, when Nick introduced me to some online marketing, it literally changed the world, because what I was doing before was making a list, and every single time I burned through a list, You know, sometimes the very first time I started, I hit everyone up I knew. And then after that point, after hitting them up, I ran out of those people, so I'd go and make another, 20-person list, and I try to build relationships. Then what happens is, you get those people who tell you, well, here's the deal, man, you need to just start building relationships with everyone before you even talk to them about the business. But it's funny because then it seems so, disingenuous when you're like, like you build a relationship with, you hang out with them once, and then the next day, hey man, you're a really cool guy, you should do my business with me. Like it's only $500. It's only $2,000. All you got to do is buy this product, dude. This skincare product that you put on your armpit, and then all of a sudden it doesn't stink for 2 weeks. I mean, so it's kind of funny, dude. And obviously, no one wants to go out there and build relationships with absolutely everyone. That's the slowest way in the world to build your business. You don't need to build a relationship with everyone in order for them to like you. See, once I learned that, it changed the game, because all of a sudden, I was starting to build rapport with people online to where, if I'm, hanging out with the family in, Costa Rica, Peru, Mexico, anywhere here in the US, traveling, all of a sudden I get a call from someone, or someone, is on my list, and they say, man, I feel like I know you. I've seen your videos, I watched your stuff, they know everything about you. They start asking you personal questions. You're just like, sorry, let me introduce myself, but, so that's kind of what, the power behind online marketing. And obviously I'm not going to go too in depth with that, because obviously I'm interviewing Nick here. But really quick, Nick, what's your favorite part about online marketing? If you could pick one thing, you're just like, man, this is awesome. Ever since, you went from old style recruiting, whether it was affiliate marketing, network marketing, we've done so many things, you guys, in sales. But Nick, tell me your favorite part, man.
I would say it's probably having to be able to connect with people all over the place and hear their stories, and then hear, how hearing their transformation stories, and what this industry does for them. Back when I was starting out, I had a very close social circle. I didn't really branch out to a lot of people. I'm the type of guy, I'm naturally an introvert, so I'm not just really outgoing. I'm not the guy at the party that makes friends with everyone. I keep my social circle tight. So, when I started doing online marketing, I didn't really know anyone. I didn't have a big following on social media or anything like that. And I really didn't understand how to make videos, but I got comfortable with the uncomfortable. I started putting myself out there. And then when I started making videos, telling my story, I started getting people started contacting me, shooting me text messages, adding me on Facebook, and say, hey, Nick, I really appreciate, that video that you put out. It definitely has changed my situation, made me think about things in a different way. And, turns out they're in like Canada, or they're in like Europe, or they're in Australia or something. Then being able to hear their story of how, the content that I put out is changing their life. You guys, that's what fuels me to keep making more videos. That's what fuels me to keep putting out, more value, to be able to help people, hearing how it's changing their situation and making it better. I mean, that's just like the biggest factor for me. I just do this for other people to really help them out. So I guess you could say that's it.
Okay, money, dude. That's a good answer. So next question. It's crazy to like I said, to see where you've come and how good of an online marketer you are. And by online marketer, you guys, I know it's a daunting thing, because I mean, most of us are like, I don't even know how a computer works, man. It's like the first time I ever looked at a computer program. You actually go look at a programmer's work, and you're just like, dude, there's like characters in there I've never seen, dude. This is some sort of Elvish. You know what I mean? But that's the funny thing, you guys. I've looked at that stuff, and I was like, there's no way I could be an online marketer. But online marketing, it's less of going out there and knowing a bunch of computer skills, learning how to press Alt, Control, Delete, and then 8 other buttons at once. It's not all of that. What it really is it's just you getting yourself out there. All right. And obviously this takes a little bit of, know-how, a little bit of knowledge, but once you have the knowledge, it's not that difficult. And just being yourself, branding yourself. And, people see that you're a normal person and they like you, they're probably going to want to join you. So obviously it's just learning about, finding one area of traffic that you're really good at, or one skill that you want to master, and getting good at it, and then just putting yourself out there. One thing I know Nick's really good at is building sales funnels. And for those of you guys who don't know what a sales funnel is, basically, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to let Nick break it down for you guys, but I just want to explain one little thing. Have you ever, or, ask you a question, I guess, have you ever put your name and email into a page? For instance, you're on Facebook and you click on this link because you're like, oh, that's really cool. I want to learn how to, I don't know, boil an egg. Okay, so you click on there and then you watch a video that says, shows you how to boil an egg, and then all of a sudden you either see a pop up, or it takes you to a different page, or on the right hand side it says put your name and email in for weekly updates of this blog to learn how to do more cool stuff in the kitchen. I know every single one of you guys, including myself, have put my name and email. So that's kind of what adding yourself to a virtual list is, or building a sales funnel is. But I actually want to ask you, Nick, how can you break down a sales funnel for us, and kind of how you build your own?
Definitely, definitely. And in order to understand a sales funnel, you first got to understand, why you need to have one. Because a lot of people out there, what they're doing to explain their business to a prospect, or make a sale inside of their business, is they're either doing meetings, live events, live gatherings in their home, home meetings, home events, or hotel meetings, or they're doing one-on-one meetings at places like Starbucks. Back when, in 2012, my first year, I was doing meetups at places like Carl's Jr., Starbucks, like Wendy's, just like sitting there, and I would like meet up with someone, and then I would go through, I would tell my story, I would explain the business, I would explain the comp plan, I would explain the products, and then, I would ask them some questions about themselves, and, I would try and close them right there on the spot. And then, if they had any objections, I would handle the objections. And it was just such a tedious little process, because, I had to go out of my way to, get in my car, drive 30 minutes away, meet up at some random place, whether it be a fast food restaurant or Starbucks or some hotel meeting or someone's house for a home event, and do an entire presentation that took 30 minutes to an hour to do. And then, handle all the objections, and then drive all the way back, which took another 30 minutes. So, by the time you're done with it, you're like 2 hours, 3 hours down. And some of you probably do like 2-hour presentations, and you drive like a couple hours out of town to do it, or you might drive to a whole nother state to do it. Now that type of stuff right there, it definitely works, but the amount of time and effort and energy that it takes for you to put in to do that, you're constantly everywhere, you guys. You're all over the place giving presentations. And eventually, if you haven't had this happen to you yet, you'll burn yourself out. You will. It happens at every point. Is whether it happens a year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years down the road, it'll happen. It happened to me. It happened to Paul. So when I stumbled across sales funnels, you guys, what it basically is it's a process that helps you automate the explaining and doing the selling for you. And all you have to focus on doing is getting targeted traffic, the right people in the front of your funnel, so it'll drive them through the process to where they see a video of either you or a company presentation that tells the story, explains the products, explains the comp plan, handles some of their objections inside of the video, and gives them a strong call to action to get started. So if you're focusing all your time and energy on just getting people to the funnel, not only is it saving you time and energy, but you're not even having to, drive all over the place, you guys, and do the explaining. It does it for you. And then you just focus on some simple little marketing methods, like Paul says, branding yourself, being you, you guys. The best sales tool that you have is your authentic self. If you can be you, brand yourself, people join people. People don't join companies, you guys. So you just focus on providing value, doing that, getting people in front of your sales funnel, and it'll help you automate your business to where, like I say, you can build a business and have a life at the same time, and be able to, automate some things to where you have people joining your team while you're out there skiing, while you're out there surfing, while you're out there traveling and having fun. So hopefully that gives a good understanding of, how it helps you guys out.
Dude, that's actually a perfect example. I couldn't have explained it better. Like I said, I learned everything from him. So the last thing, and I know this is usually a tough question to answer, so it's one of those things that I'll give you a minute, dude. I'll give you 1 minute, I'll even have a stopwatch under the table. But really quick, man, the one thing that if you could, let's put it this way, man, you cut off that entire, 3-year learning curve from the point you got started, and you were super excited, ready to tell the world, till now. If you could say one thing to the people watching this video, and that would just, like I said, cut off that learning curve, all right, what's the one thing?
I would say it would be to find a mentor. Find a mentor that has already achieved the level of success that you want to achieve, and just literally take their advice, do exactly what they say, and don't stray off the path. See, a mistake that I made was when I was listening to someone that had the results that I wanted, they would tell me to do something specific. Then I thought I knew better. I thought I could go out there and do something different, and I can, achieve a better result than what they already told me. And I was trying to pave my own path. But once I decided to get back on the path because they already had what I wanted, and just follow everything that they've done, take their advice, then it literally propelled me to success even quicker. You know, if you say what people say, you do what they do, you'll get what they have every single time. So find a mentor, you guys, do everything they say, and just follow them, and keep learning, you know, study, do, teach, and you'll have the same results that they have.
Sweet. All right, man. I appreciate it. So here's the deal, you guys. You know, I hope you guys like the video. We're just trying to be our genuine selves here. Kind of explain to you guys, you know, like honestly, I mean, here's a channel for you guys to basically cut off some years of learning. If you're brand new to this network marketing, or if you're ahead of us in the game, feel free to contact us. We'd love to learn from you. But that being said, don't be afraid to subscribe. You know, click on subscribe button. We're going to have plenty more videos coming your way. And if you want to learn more about online marketing and learn how to create your own sales funnels, you guys, click on the link down below this video. We'll take you through our own personal funnel. We're not going to sell you something right away. You're obviously going to get some real value from us at first. And you know, if it's up to you whether or not you decide to buy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're doing everything we do for free, because then we'd be broke, you'd be broke, and none of us would be happy. All right. But with that, we'll give you guys plenty of free value. We're going to keep putting these videos out. So click subscribe, click on the link below, and we'll keep in touch and talk to you guys soon.
Get it. Peace.